I used to live in a quiet town, the kind where nothing ever happened, just rows of small houses, an old diner, and a single movie theater that had been around longer than anyone could remember. The Rialto, a relic of the past, faded red seats, dim gold lighting, and a single-screen projection room that smelled like dust and stale popcorn. It was the kind of place that felt frozen in time, untouched by the modern world, its walls holding on to whispers of decades past. I worked there for a while, just to make some cash. The job was easy. Tier tickets, sweep floors, refill the soda machine. Boring mostly, but it was the late shifts that got to me, especially when I was alone. The silence in that place wasn't the comforting kind. It pressed against you, heavy and watchful, like something unseen was always listening, always waiting. The walls seemed to absorb sound, making every breath feel intrusive. Even the hum of the vending machines in the lobby felt unnatural, a soft, unbroken drone against the vast emptiness of the building. Some nights, after the last showing, when the place should have been dead silent, I'd hear it clicking upstairs. That steady, mechanical whir, like a heartbeat for something long forgotten. The first time, I figured someone had forgotten to turn it off. I went up, flicked the switch, and it died. No big deal, but it kept happening. Always after closing. Always when I was alone. The sound would start as a faint ticking, like an old clock buried under layers of stillness. Then it would build, the unmistakable whir of film threading through the reels. It felt wrong. The projectors were ancient and we barely used them anymore. Most movies played digitally, and yet, there it was, running on its own, spitting out blank light onto an empty screen. I mentioned it to Carl, the manager. He was old, the kind of guy who seemed like he had been around since the place was built. "Yeah," he muttered, eyes not leaving his crossword. "Projector's got a mind of its own." I laughed, but he didn't. Just kept scribbling, like it was nothing. Like it was normal. I pressed him, but all he said was, "Been like that for years." No explanation, no attempt at one. Just a statement, as if he had long given up trying to understand. One night, I decided to check. Really check. It was a slow Wednesday, one of those dead nights where nobody comes to the movies. By the time I shut everything down, it was past midnight. The air felt thick, humming with something unseen. I stood at the bottom of the stairs leading to the projection booth, listening. Click, click. That steady, rhythmic hum. The sound of film rolling through an empty reel. I swallowed hard and climbed the stairs, each creak under my foot echoing through the silence. The booth was empty. Just the old projector spinning, its light beaming onto a blank screen below. The film strip flapped gently, as if someone had just threaded it through. But there was no movie scheduled, no reel loaded, just motion. Something flickered in the corner of my eye. I turned, heart hammering. The glass window overlooking the theater stretched out in front of me, rows of empty seats bathed in the soft glow of the screen's dying light. Except they weren't empty. In the third row, a single figure sat, completely still. I couldn't make out their face, just the shape of a head, the slope of shoulders hunched forward, watching, waiting. My breath hitched. My hands felt numb. "Sir?" My voice barely carried through the booth. No movement. I stepped back, the floor creaking beneath me. The chair in the theater remained occupied. The projector kept rolling, spitting out nothing but blank light. My chest tightened as a deep chill ran through me. It was like staring into something that wasn't really there, yet it undeniably was. I shut it off, hard. Darkness swallowed the theater below. The moment the light died, so did the figure. Just gone. I didn't check. I didn't move. I bolted down the stairs, out the front doors, and didn't stop running until I was home. The next day, Carl didn't ask why I left early. He just gave me that same tired look and said, "You saw him, huh?" I didn't answer. Didn't have to. The thing is, I wasn't the first. I knew that now, and I sure as hell wouldn't be the last. A week later, I turned in my notice. I couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't stomach the idea of another late shift, of sitting in that empty lobby with the hum of something watching me. The thought of walking through that lobby, past the unlit theater, feeling eyes that weren't there, burned into my mind. I could barely sleep. When I did, I dreamed of empty seats filled with unseen figures, staring, waiting. But the Rialto stayed open. It still is, I think. I never went back, never told anyone what I saw. But sometimes when I pass by, I swear I see that flickering light in the booth, the faint silhouette of someone sitting alone in the dark, waiting for a movie that never plays. The air around the theater always feels colder, like something is still lingering, waiting for someone else to notice.